legislation buried for the cost of billion-dollar backroom deals that profit from our loss. What good is tomorrow if born to die in waste? Is trust just an illusion? Is a promise a mistake? And as sure as the sun shines, as sure as the grass grows and the rivers flow, I'll be there beside you, pulsing through your veins. You'll feel my heart, you know. Time has come to recognize deceptions of the past, seek truth and stand together at last. Sure as the sun, sure as the trees, and the rivers flow free, I'll be there, I'll be there. Count on me. I'll be with you when we stand together at last. As sure as the sun shines, as sure as
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to UCY.tv. We've got What Matters Worldwide. I'm your host, Vince Easley. We've got a guest coming in. We're going to talk about growing hydroponically. Marijuana. I might find some variations on this, but I think this is going to be an interesting topic. Explore this one tonight. Thanks to everybody that's joined in here from the event page off of Facebook. Really glad y'all could come. And if you're listening downstream, thanks for coming in. Thanks to everybody for sharing the event. Thank you. With the here, and I'll go back over to the chat. Howdy. Oh, wait a minute, you couldn't hear me in there?
No, that's it. So that's a
Okay. How's it in chat, guys? How's the volume? More volume? Okay. Let me try that. Let me hold on. Let me get the Skype and adjust my. I did turn because I've got the. If you hear my mic. Okay. Now, how's that? Is it good now? Oh, it did. Awesome. Okay. How about now, Jimmy? Can I move my microphone? Can you hear me again? I hear my brother in there. Please stand by while we straighten out these technical difficulties. I'm going to go through the chat, see how it's going. Okay, is it good now or what? Stand by for 30 seconds waiting. Mic on. Wrong side of the phone. Okay. I might have to move the microphone. Maybe. Oh, crap. Are you guys not hearing me at all? Mike. Okay, I moved my microphone because it's whining computer. I was trying to muffle that sound. So let me try it right down here. Okay, see if that's any better. 30 seconds. Can? Are they not hearing me? Better? Okay. Yeah, we're ready to roll.
Call me.
Oh, did you hang up, Vic?
Yeah.
All right, I'll edge back. And there we go. All right, thanks, Jimmy. Got your message and stuff. Appreciate you, brother. Bunches. Go for the upper. Okay. Let's start all over, shall we? We're going to talk about hydroponics, and I'm going to talk about maybe at least one mistake that's generally made. Yeah, I hear you over in the background, Victor. Let me scroll down to this one. Where's it at? Oh, you know something I found out today. Let me give a shout out to my buddy Neil, a friend like family from Louisiana, lives out yonder, and another direction. I'll try to keep him kind of anonymous. He has a 420 chop shop. I'll grab that and drop it into chat. Anyways, he wrote an article here, and he's talking about a different strain of marijuana, Rhodellis sativa, if I pronounce that right. Anyways, it's a fast flowering plant, and they've done some crossing with that. But you can't clone it because no matter what time of when you take your cutting for cloning, you know the clone itself thinks it's that old, which brings up the point of if you're cloning. Everything I've been finding from people on YouTube and stuff is they're using their cuttings from down below when they're pruning their plant up and using those to root. And first thing I thought of is the harvest I came out here to was that that's how it was done, and he had a huge decrease in yield. And I asked him about it, and yeah, sure enough, he's taking his. He says everybody's told him, yeah, that's fine, taking it from the bottom limbs. But what came to my mind was what's called apical, if I pronounce that, apical dominance. And there's actually some chemicals that I don't know how, I can't tell you how it works. But anyways, they know where the top is, and they send like production. There's more production involved in the top as opposed to lateral branches. So if you're taking those lateral ones, you're not getting the quality or the quantity, I don't believe. So a big mistake I wrote here is often made when cloning is not realizing the characteristics of apical dominance. Desired traits are diminished when using the cuttings from the lower branches of the plant after pruning. Apical dominance is the phenomenon whereby the main central stem of the plant is dominant over other side stems, i.e. Grows more strongly than them. On a branch, on the main stem of the stem of the branch is further dominant over its own side branches. And somebody may comment that, yeah, but who wants to, cut the cola out of their plant? Because once you cut that out, that dominant stem spreads out all to all the laterals that's going to be growing out from that top. So you're going to decrease your cola size when you do that. Cola is also means tail in Spanish, so that's where that word comes from, or from the Latin at least to begin with. But further research said you can maintain a mother plant for they said 5 years. That would require separate growing conditions. You have to change lighting and length of lighting and so forth during different stages of planting. And that will be discussed coming up. Let's see here. I want to give another shout out. I hope, I'm going to have to send her a reminder. Annette Guru, the organic guru, Lynette Pape, to call in with an update. Michael, you listen on Dads for Marijuana. You're welcome to call in here after all, too. Give us an update. I wish you would call. Ian, Jacqueline, and anybody else that has a little information to add, I'm going to welcome callers here after a little while. I will hope that you will call and put your input in, any knowledge that you might have. And anyways, so I have my guest online. Do you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little bit low. volume. Let me jump back to chat. How's the caller sound there in chat, y'all? How's that going?
Can you guys hear me okay?
No, it's pretty bad connection.
Pretty low. I finally hear you good there, which is a good thing. Let's try this. Can you hear me any better now?
No. Just a little better, but not quite.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear
me now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it sounds like crap. Hold on, I'm gonna mute up. I'm gonna walk back there. You keep talking. I'm gonna walk back there and see what you got going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through my experience, which I've repeated multiple times on various crops and stuff there. I was shown a certain way to do it, and I'm going to share that with you there. Hopefully we get some feedback and we can answer some questions and that sort of thing too. The initial setup could be pretty expensive. You could go through the setup using a smaller tab. I'll have pictures on the Facebook page, and when I make a video, I'll add pictures. Hello. Hello.
I think we got you back. Did you fall off?
You got me now?
Oh.
Can you hear me? Hello, Vincent.
Well, I don't know what's going on here. I've lost my glasses. Crap.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, I got you now. I hear you now.
You can hear me? We're getting a little feedback from the two computers, maybe because it's the same network. We're in the same house now, which is a first time broadcasting the two Easley brothers from the same house together, not separated by hundreds of miles. So how are you receiving me? Everybody got me?
Yeah, I'm calling in on the phone, so I did that a second ago, and I don't know if that knocked you off air or what.
Okay, sounds better though. So you can hear me fine. Audience, any feedback?
Yeah, it's not real great audio, but we do hear you.
Okay, so like I told you, I'm going to go through my experience. I've replicated it many, many times over. I learned the right way the first time, not the way that I do it, but there is no 100% right way. Different people have different methods. You can tweak different things. I'm going to give you the overall knowledge. I'm going to tell you what the best setup is, which is quite expensive, but you can dumb it down an awful lot. But the yield is going to be directly proportional to the wattage of the lights. If you have just fluorescent lights, okay, are you there? Can you hear me? Not ideal, is it?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So if you have a lower wattage light, you're going to have less of a yield. I do strongly encourage everybody to maintain laws of the state. Go through the process, get your medical marijuana card, stay within the confines of the law, be legal. There's no sense whatsoever in pushing the boundaries, maintain the plants you're allowed and that sort of thing. Initial setup, though, if you really want to go all out, you're going to need a water softener, and you will need a reverse osmosis filter on your sink, which makes about 1 gallon an hour. If you don't want to go through that expense, which is like $2,000 or more, then you could try your tap water. You might be lucky to have good well water. You could try it, but ideally you should go to one of the water dispensers with good water and haul it that way. But with the 3 plants, which I'm legally allowed to vegetate and to flower, will take 5 gallons a day. So if you can't produce it at your house, and picking it up will be a chore, but it's all up to you. Pictures will be posted, but the initial setup, okay, you're going to have a reservoir to hold the water with the nutrients, circulate it up into a tank, which is going to water the plants. This is going to be,
Drop your mic like down below under your chin. Bring it down a little bit more. Underneath there. Yeah, out from the front of your face. There. Okay, try that. Go.
So you will vary the water cycle every 4 hours. So it's going to get the water. You're going to have the roots coming. It is hydroponics. It's going to suck up the nutrients. One of the biggest things that I have here, I think, is a nutrient schedule using the FloraGrow nutrients. You can find it in a hydroponic shop. That is key. Being able to judge a plant from the seedling to the vegetative growth till you get it to the desired size. You put it in transition, then you'll put it into flowering. Flowering is 12 hours of light on, 12 hours off. That is going to force it, simulate like it's a fall, and will force it to flower. Vincent mentioned, I read that article about that strain that will flower automatic, which is interesting. I never heard of that. So if you really want to do it right, this is going to be an expensive investment, $4,000 or $5,000, but you could get by with just a couple $100, but you'll have much less yield and stuff too. Ideally, what you need the reservoir tank you can get on Walmart anywhere. What I have is like a 30-gallon reservoir. It's just a plastic tub for storage. I actually have a tray which holds the water, which is 4 feet by 4 feet, which is made for this. It has a water uptake and the drain to the reservoir. Then it has a 1,000-watt lamp, and I have an air conditioner unit in the bedroom. As you can see, all of this can get expensive and can add up. But it's essential that you get good circulation, and you got to have your nutrients flowing there, which is very important. So the principle, once again, he has a reservoir with the nutrients, which vary over time. You're going to force it to either grow or to vegetate or to bud. Okay, but each plant has its own genetics. You can vegetate it as long as you want. Vegetating is, I use 24 hours light, 24 hours constant. Some people can go down to 18 hours, but you get the energy, photosynthesis through the light. So the more light, the more growth you're going to get. So you will vegetate it, get it to the desired size, change it light time in 12 on, 12 off, and that is going to force it to flower. On average, a plant takes 8 to 9 weeks to get the optimal bud and stuff there. You can, and what is recommended, especially as you get the process going, because you can get your source either from a seed or from a clone, okay? Clones will go much quicker than a seed, but I just started some seeds 5 days ago, and one seed sprouted in 4 days, and the other one sprouted, and I'm waiting on the third one, which I'm allowed 3 plants in vegetation, or 3 plants in flower and 4 in vegetation. Okay, so these are the tips I've learned. If you want to grow a plant from a seed, do not worry about soaking it in water and cracking it. Some people do it, yeah, it will work, but it's totally unnecessary. The tools of the trade here, what's very important is something called rock wool. Rock wool. WOOL. And it's almost like a fiberglass brick, which is a medium for the roots to grow through. And of course, it's one-time use for away afterwards. But they have the larger 5x5 rock wools, but then they have the little 2-inch ones there. So to start the seed, and this works very well, is that you get the 2x2s rock wools, saturated with the reverse osmosis water, demineralized water, whatever, you use, whatever you prefer. I use RO water. Then you put the seed in the hole in the middle. Do not put it too far down. If you do, it's going to rot, okay? Just maybe a 1/4 inch below the surface. Use your finger, gently kind of rough the surface to cover it up. Normally, I'll have a separate room where I'll do the seeds or the clones. But this time, since I have the light still on 24 hours, I just put it in the main grow room for this. And like I said, 4 days, the first seed came up, which was really good. Just, you got to keep it saturated with water there. A mistake I made before is that you have like a terrarium. It's has a dome. There's a tent which is used for many purposes, mainly for the cloning and stuff there. This can be a wonderful tool, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to rot your seeds or rot your clones in. Okay, you don't want stagnant water. You don't want water sitting for a long time. That's why these seeds I have now, there's nothing holding water. It just goes through. So I have to keep on watering it, but the rock wool does retain the water quite a bit. And the seeds came up, coming up very, very well, quite quickly. What I did before, though, I had the tent covered on there with the vents closed, and the water rose up, stagnated, and it just rotted all the seeds. And, it's just a caveat to beware of. Be careful on that. So you can do the seedlings, and you can do clones, which is really recommended, unless you get feminized seeds. If you're going to go through all of this, the expense, electricity, nutrients is all the same. If you have dirtweed, it's still going to be dirtweed. So whatever possible, you want a good quality seed or a good quality clone. If you do have your medicinal cart, then you can get it at the clones and stuff at various shops there. Some people can actually get it, through the mail, but that's buy your caveat there. You got to be careful. I do encourage you to follow the laws and all of that. Okay, so for the clone, like Vincent was saying, we had this discussion. This batch I have going now, 3 clones. Like I said, I had a problem with this seeds before, just an amateur mistake, even though I'd done it before. But I got 1 seed to grow, nursed it, grew it to a mother plant. You'll see pictures on the Facebook event page there. I grew 1 mother plant from that seed, and I cloned it, 3 plants, which I just recently harvested. And what is odd is that one of them I took the top, but since I wasn't going to keep the mother plant. And the other ones I took lower down. You would think genetically it's identical. All 3 plants are going to be the same. As far as potency wise, looks, yeah. But 1 plant only yielded like 4 ounces, which for some methods might be good, but not for this method. The 1,000-watt light, the first crop I ever had, I had a pound of plant, 3 plants, 3 pounds, and that spoiled me. Another plant probably 8 ounces, and another plant probably 8 ounces. And it's all kind of varied. It's kind of odd. Why, if it's identical genetically, are the yields different at all? Only thing makes sense is I think it is probably the apical branches are the best. They're the best DNA and all of that. Not real sure, but that's something to look into. Cloning really is very easy. It's nothing to be nervous of. This is where you need your dome with a tip, clear plastic tip. One thing I do not like are the 2x2 squares that you put the rock wools inside. You can't see the amount of water on the bottom. I don't like them. I don't recommend them in my experience. So if you're going to get the clones, you want to maintain sterility. You do not want to get bacteria or anything like that. And by the way, another advantage of hydroponics, you don't get the gnats like in soil. Any soil you have is just riddled with gnats. It's going to plague you for months. And this is just regular plants we have. It's terrible, So the advantage of hydro is that you don't have all the gnats around. So for the clone, you do want to have scissors, a razor blade, alcohol, cotton pad. You do want to wipe them off and keep them sterile. So you will find a branch, and like we're determining probably further up, mid-branch on up. All the lower branches will root quicker than the higher branches. So do your own experiment. I can only tell you what I've learned so far. So you will cut off one of the branches close to the main stem. You will cut off any extraneous leaves down towards the bottom of the stem. Get your razor blade, cut it at a 45-degree angle. This increases the surface area for rooting. Then you will get the razor blade and split it on the bottom. That will also increase the surface area. And what is crucial is that you have to have a rooting compound. It's a hormone. It's called, one example is Clonex. So what you'll do once you sterile environment, you cut it 45 degrees, split it, You soak it in the Clonex, the tip of the stem, at least 30 seconds or more. Very important. This is a hormone that's going to get it to start rooting and everything. And my success rate for the clones are really, really high too. They work really well. It might turn a little yellow. Stems might go from green to purple because of stress, but still, good success rate. They're pretty easy. So you put it in there. You get your 2x2 rock wool. You got your hole in there. You poke it inside, kind of crimp the side, put it tight up against the stem. You have your terrarium, or whatever you want to call it, with the inside, not the tray on the bottom. Just have it on the bottom tray with the dome over the top. The vents must be closed until you have roots on the first plants. You don't want oxygen in it. You want an anaerobic atmosphere at first while it roots. So after about 7 days, maybe 10 days, you're going to get it to root. At that point, you will get that 2x2 rock wool and put that inside the center orifice on the 5x5 rock wool after you saturate that with water too. And once again, this is just a medium for the roots to grow through. Okay, start with the 2x2, whether clone or a seedling. Once it gets mature enough, especially if you start getting the roots coming out the sides, it's time to upsize it, supersize that. One thing that's important, there is a plastic coating around it. You take it off and just peel it off. If you don't, then it's going to just allow the roots to grow out the bottom. You want it to grow out on the sides and laterally and all too. So another caveat there. Be careful on that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're nursing this plant from a baby. Now we're going to go in the vegetative cycle. Okay, 24 hours. And listen, this is so very important. You don't want to stretch your little baby plants. You want the light as close as you can to them. Okay, for these, I don't use that 1,000-watt light. I use a 2-row fluorescent light, which is smaller bulbs, but it does make a difference what type of bulb you have. You want like a grow type of bulb. So, talk to your sales representative or whatever, and they'll direct you to the right bulb. So our goal right now is to develop this seedling or clone into maturity so we can put it into flowering. So we have it in the 5x5 rock wool. We have the plastic coating on the outside. Okay, that's fine like that. I'm leaving that inside the vegetated room, which is just a closet, fan circulating on it there with the light over. Since it's not a 1,000-watt light, the heat isn't a big issue or anything there, and that will get it to the desired size. Once again, though, once I get it from the seedling to the clone and put it in that 5x5 rock wool, that is the time you put it in the automatic circulating hydroponic system with the tray and the reservoir and all of that. I have a little mini one. Once again, you can buy little storage bins there. The one I have in here, probably 15 gallons. For this, it's a smaller one since much smaller plants. So same setup. You have it circulated every 4 hours. You have an aerator in there too, which will kick on too as it cycles. You want the water in the reservoir aerated. Also, there are covers for these rock wools too. If you don't, you're going to get algae, and gnats will like that too. So you can either put foil over it, or there's some plastic coverage you can put over it and it will grow and stuff there. Just little bitty things makes it a whole lot easier in the long run there. So now we have cropped our, flowering, harvested our crop there, that we had. We are ready to put the plants, which have been in the vegetated room for a month up to 2 months there, into the main system. What we are going to do on this, we want more room for the roots to grow and to expand. Having a 1,000-watt light, you'll see the root system is extended big time. If you looked at a 400-watt light, it's kind of a wimpy root system there. But your yield is going to be proportional to your light wattage. But then again, higher wattage, more electrical cost, and more initial cost of buying the equipment. And electricity will be at least $100 a month, up to $200 during the summer for running the air conditioner and all. So there's a lot of cost involved, but it definitely is a lot better than going through Shady Characters or paying the $120 for a quarter ounce at one of the stores there. So we're getting it set up in the main system now. And like I said, what that consists of is a reservoir tank. I'm able to put 25 gallons of water in there at a time without it overflowing on a spill level. I do have a nice pump there, which is hooked to a timer, which kicks on every 4 hours for 15 minutes. Same thing when it kicks on, the aerators kick on, and it's going to blow bubbles in there, keep it aerated for the 15 minutes. This cycles every 4 hours. The lights at this point are on 24 hours on that 1,000-watt line in the main system. But later, once they reach a desired size to kick them into flowering, then I have to put a timer on it. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And you can imagine that we are eating up some juice in here too. So I got to be very careful you do not overload one single circuit breaker. You want to distribute the load throughout. Like the AC, you don't want on the same circuit as a 1,000-watt light. Okay, I have a portable AC inside, which vents to the attic. And this is destructive because you got to put a hole in the ceiling, which once you tore it out, you'd have to repair it. Same thing too. The 1,000-watt light is extremely hot, very hot. So that is why you have to have air continuously circulating through it. There is a fan mounted in the attic. And this is the worst part, the most annoying part, because it's noisy. It vibrates. So if possible, if you could get a non-vibrating exhaust fan, do it. I mean, a quiet one, because they are loud and they're noisy, but they're essential. It will kick on whenever you have the light kick on, and you have your exhaust venting. You have a filter, large filter too, which you can smell being exhausted is a concern. So the exhaust venting, it goes through the filter, goes through the body of the light, out through the exhaust fan there, and that keeps it cool. Otherwise, it'd be so hot in there and fry the plants, it's probably blow your light and all of that. Okay. Another thing, you want a lot of light. That's the energy. So you have the 1,000-watt light. Remember, as you're growing the seedlings, all of the plants, you want the light as close to the plant as possible. Especially the seedlings, if it's too far away, they're going to stretch, and it's going to be long, narrow, skinny stems, and they're going to fall over and break and not work at all. Okay? Be very careful on that. Okay, so once again, you do want the light as close as possible to the plants, but you don't want to burn it because you can't burn them if it's resting on them too long. Okay, that goes both the vegetation, as seedlings, clones, all the way up into the flowering. The flowering, they're going to get bulk and get bigger, bulkier, but not taller to say. On that point, you can go ahead and raise the light as far as it will go to maximize the light going around. Okay. You have a 4 foot by 4 foot square tray, which holds the nutrients as it circulates. To provide more light, they have 8 fluorescent lights, 2 on each side. It's about a third of the way in on each side. That way it provides light to the body of the plant, to the sides. If you don't have those lights, you'll have little popcorn buds there, but with those you can get more decent sized buds and stuff there. Okay. Of course, it adds more electricity, more expense. This is the right way to do it to maximize your yield. If you want to be satisfied with an ounce or 2 of plant, okay, good. Me, I got spoiled having a pound of plant. I mean, that was pretty nice. Once again, there too, once you harvest it and you cure it, dry it, and cure it, it's going to lose at least half of its weight too on top of that. Okay. So what we have here is where we left off. We've got our clones or seedlings. We put it into the 5x5 rock wool. We have the plastic around the sides. We're going to put it in the main system. The way we do this, we have a 3-gallon felt bags. I use a 5-gallon the first time. They're too big. 3-gallon felt bags. You'll see pictures of them. Buy them at hydroponic stores. Buy them online. Probably actually cheaper online somewhat there too. And you have clay pellets. That once again, is a medium for the roots to grow through and to block out the light. Anywhere you have light, it's going to kill the roots, kill the root growth, and plus it will form algae if you have the water there. So by having the 3-gallon felt bag, put the bottom, fill it up after you rinse off the clay pellets here, because it is clay and it is a lot of red dirt in it too. So it is recommended to rinse them off. Fill about a third of the bag up, take the plastic off the rock wool, put it inside, put the clay pellets around the sides of it. You got to remember though too, the level of the tray is only so high. And I have done probably 6 successful crops, and this last one just last week I made a big mistake. Whenever I put it in, the roots did not have a root system yet, and it was not getting the water up into the rock wool. So I let it dry out. I shocked the plant and I killed one of my 3 there. So instead of having 3, I'm just going to have 2 plants this time. But it is essential, be legal, follow the laws of the land. It's what I'm allowed. I'm not going to get greedy and have an extra one in case one dies or anything like that. But that is why you're allowed, at least in the state of Nevada, 4 plants of vegetative, 3 in flower, and 7 total. Different states, I think there's 12, I forget now. They have different rules, so consult your local laws, okay? Be legal, make good decisions. Secret, the key to life, make good decisions, because repercussions are not pleasant, okay? So anyway, so we do have our 3-gallon felt bags. We have our transplanted our plant into there, and we are going to look at the nutrient schedule. Okay, we have the transition. Then at some point you want maximum grow rate, because at this point our goal is to let the plant reach its maximum size. And you just got to get the feel as you go with it there too. Once again, you don't want the plant to get all stretchy. You want to keep the light close to it as it grows. Otherwise it's going to stretch out towards the light. Some people like to top it. That way you'll get 2 buds, smaller buds, instead of 1 big bud on the top there. It is possible to get a plant, just a young plant, immediately put it into flowering. And I've never seen it, but I heard that you get like 1 big bud, like a 1 ounce bud from there, and that's it from it. So you can do like lots of those, but maybe up in Vancouver, Canada. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do things. This is a method I have, and it's been very successful. The only things I have gone wrong is whenever I was a bonehead, because before I always watered until they got the root system established. You know, it was a little bit high, so I wasn't getting the water. So that was totally my bad, my fault, totally. So it takes, you know, at least a month, maybe 6 weeks to get it up to a good size before you put it in the flowering mode. Probably going to wait 1 more week to put this batch here into the flowering mode. And then once again, that's 12 hours of light on, 12 hours off. We're simulating seasonal changes. And that is going to kick it into, like I said, the flower. It won't be at this point that you will know if you have a male or female plant unless you get a feminized plant. You do not want a male plant unless you're trying to get seeds, because male plants will make it all seedy. Of course, you know, it's the same thing, reproduction. Have a lot of little babies there. So you do want to weed out any male plants if you don't know the source of your seeds or anything like that. You go online, see what it looks like. Basically, they have little balls, little gonads, on the little junctions on the stems. And that tells you there. The females have little hairs going there. So be very careful. I mean, I've only had 1 male one time, and it was like a monster too. There's only 1 time I grew from, 2 times from seeds, this time now and 1 before, but I didn't know the source of the seeds, what they were, and I did have a big old male that just like dominated everything. Ended up cutting it out and stuff there. So if possible, get feminized seeds or get clones from a female, definitely. And that way you know what you get. Okay. It's not like, try not to have it like a box of chocolates. You want to know what you're going to get there, because you put a lot of time, expenditure, energy, and all of that into it. So you definitely want the best yield, the maximum THC, and the shortest time for harvesting as you can. Okay, so once again, you're consulting that nutrient schedule on there. Very, very important because you can try something. That's why you have gradual increases and all of that going through. Okay, so now we are in the flowering stage. Okay, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And you'll see the plants are getting taller, probably indoors. They'll probably be 4 to 6 feet tall. Any taller than that, let them grow too tall. And it's kind of gets it hard to manage. Because as you get the buds develop, they get heavy and they're going to fall over and they'll break. So that is why you have to have like a spider web network set up with strings suspended from the ceiling, from what have you. Not from the light, because you still have to raise them up and down to be able to support these buds. If you don't, they're going to fall over, they're going to break. It's not a good thing. Probably cleaned in the nutrients and all of that there too. So variations on the type, of course, I'm not going into different indica and sativa. There are differences in the flowering times on there, but I find on average it's probably about 8 to 9 weeks there. Then you're ready to harvest. Joy, oh joy, which is a cool thing. Back again on the light though, one thing I did not mention, you get mylar sheeting, which is reflective like a mirror. You want to put it all the way around the walls where you're growing too, so that it will reflect the light back. More light you get into it, the better crop you're going to get there. You're going to go through all this time and money. Of course, you want to get the best crop you could possibly get there, right? And once again, you can do the good system by getting the water softener, the RO system. You can get the proper 4x4 foot tank, the reservoir, the good pumps, indoor air conditioner, exhausted in the attic, the fluorescent lights around the side, the 1,000 watt sodium light, halide light for it. I mean, that's big expensive. You might go $5,000 for a lot of this. Or you can have a more modest operation, more down low there too, just for personal growth or whatever there, of like the vegetative system in the closet. It's a much keyed down system. Smaller reservoir tank, pump circulates, it has a nice fluorescent lights with the bulbs over it. It's not as hot. You still have the fan. You got to have air circulated throughout it. That's crucial. One thing I do not do, but something that would be worth considering, is having a CO2 tank on a timer as well. Have a closed loop circulating around in a hose with the holes in it, so it will emit it, saturate the plants. You don't want the fans going at this time. You want it to just get around the leaves and let it saturate it up, because photosynthesis. Plants take in CO2, they give up oxygen. We take the oxygen, get up off CO2. Okay, so anyway, you can do that. I don't do that. So we are in the flowering stage. 9 weeks. Okay, we watch it. Okay, before we actually want to harvest it, you don't want chemical weed. You want to flush all these nutrients out, which is at least a week. You want to do it, or 10 days. Okay, so you're watching the plants. How do we know it's mature? Well, you go see the hairs on you. You see all the crystals. I mean, it's beautiful. If you have good bud, it's awesome. Smells so nice. The crystals. You see the white hairs on there. White hair, it is not ready yet. Okay, so you can't just pick it at any time and think you're going to get good bud. There's a very, very small window to harvest it and have the good bud there. But you watch the hairs. Once most of them turn brown, you'll see a lot of the fan leaves start turning brown. Some of the other ones, smaller fan leaves turning brown. You watch it, then you know it's ready to harvest. And it's a lot of work there too. Okay, it all depends on how anal you want to be on manicuring them too. This last time, this is how I'm going to do it. Unless you're doing it for a shop or what have you, where you want it manicured nice and pretty and beautiful. I'm not worrying so much about getting all the little leaves. Besides they're saturated with crystals anyway, and they'll smoke fine anyway. So when I've done it, harvest a little bit at a time. Don't just cut everything down. And, it's a big chore. You can spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours manicuring this. It was like a long time. But anymore, what I did this last time, and it worked fine by me, and the buds look quite nice, is, of course, mainly don't even use the scissors much, mainly by the hand. Pluck off the fan leaves, any of the brown leaves or anything, take those off. Any big leaves, you don't want fan leaves. There's no resin. But if you see the little leaves with the resin on them, leave it. They'll dry up and they'll smoke just fine in the future. Of course, a lot of people are connoisseurs. They want it all trimmed nice and pretty, but if it's worth the time for you, go for it. But it's not worth the time. This last time, much better just doing it all by hand and stuff there too. Ain't nothing like the scissor hash too. It's like in India, Shinti, which is like the piece. It's a zone. It's the resin. They'll rub a big old bud in their hand and they get all that resin and then they'll peel it off with their thumb and they'll get a big old resin ball. That is the best. And you'll get that on the scissors as you trim it. Use your razor blade. Clean that. That is exceptional. Seriously. That is the best. You save a lot of those leaves. You can make a tincture out of it for a rub. You can also get it and dry it out. Of course, you don't want to mildew it either. You got to be careful. We'll get to that. But you can make a hash out of the resin out of it too. 3 different things there. But once again, be legal, follow your laws, all of that stuff there. 100% be legal. Okay, so we have manicured it. Now these are, like I said, whenever they dry, it's going to lose over half of its weight. And you don't want to go through this either. You got to be very careful. And this is a step I have not mastered, which I need to find out what I'm doing wrong. If anybody listeners know what I'm doing wrong, let me know. But I have a quick cure drying rack. It's like a multi-layered net, which is circular, which dangles one on top of each other. You got to put newspaper on the bottom, otherwise you'll lose a lot of the droppings to it, a lot of the shape. But anyway, you got all the buds. You'll spread it on the racks there. Okay, at least 3 days, and you'll kind of hit the bottom of it, turn them around, let them dry out evenly and all of that. Then you want to cure them. Some people use mason jars. At Walmart, they have big old, that's got to be 2.5 gallon jars of various sizes, which I use. You'll put the semi-dried buds in the jar, keep it covered. A few hours later, whenever you check it, if it starts getting dry on the outside, you open it, shake it, you roll it so they're not sticking around. You don't want them to mold or mildew. You'll burp it, as it's called there. You keep on doing that, watching it, not letting it stay sealed up. Once you cover it, once it starts getting a little moist again, uncover it, skin, churn it, all of that there. But yet the problem I have, and even though this is killer bud, good quality and all of that, it does not have the smell like you get in a grow shop or whatever you call them there. They kind of more like the hay smell, which it doesn't affect the quality of it or the potency or anything like that. But if anybody tells me what I'm doing wrong, why? I'm drying it on the rack, I have it on the jar, I'm burping it. It's not molded or mildewed, but still it doesn't have that bam in your face smell unless you break it open and stuff. So anyway, any questions? Hey, Vincent, want to come on in there, or you want to add anything, or what? I'm sure there's some points we can hit. I hope I have an audience. I hope everybody hears me. I'd be pretty curious. So you there, Vincent?
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I've been all over the place here doing some production and sharing links and stuff and gathering stuff up. But, I had my earphones unplugged listening with the speakers on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would have been terrible if I was speaking 45 minutes and not a soul heard me.
Oh, you've been talking for 45 minutes. I thought you said the last 4 or 5 minutes. You was good last 4 or 5 minutes.
I did what?
You was okay though. I thought you You said the last 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, that's all I heard.
Okay. So I'm sure there's some questions. I mean, there's probably some points I didn't fill in or anything like that. I just forgot. Or anybody questions? Or the biggest thing, like I said, is that grow schedule. I mean, look at that. Copy that. That's huge.
Yeah. Hey, not knocking you, but be an opportunity for you maybe to adapt and change as well. Maddie in chat makes a very, very good point, and I hadn't said anything to you about it, but and this segues into something else. But if you use chemicals, Maddie says, then you don't know what you're consuming. That's very true. So if a person were to you could get some dual use out of this. You could grow you some fish with the aquaponics system, and it doesn't take a lot of space to produce the water that you need. And man, it's amazing what the plant takes up. Oh man, where did I get those links?
Yeah, I definitely believe in aquaponics. I like to see the results, but you don't have the hormones kicking certain cycles in. But that is why you have a flush system at the end for 7 to 10 days to get all the nutrients and chemicals out of it and stuff there.
Hey, Jax gives you a shout out in chat. He says, great info, Vinny's brother.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, we got a really great audience here at UCY. The listeners, the chatters, y'all really, are the ones who make up UCY because, we could sit around and talk to ourselves, but thankfully, you guys are here listening. And there's a lot of people listening in the archives, and other people have different media where they post it up. You can also find UCY.tv on YouTube. Do a search there. You just do a search for UCY.tv and find all the great places. Also in iTunes there, Drew Shawley, he's you can link up there in Downcast. Also Nathan Fraser, who's on Sunday nights, Live Free FM. He's got a lot of podcasts that you can get over on iTunes, and those are a couple of I've got a lot of favorite people out there I listen to, and those are 2 of them that rank right up there in the top categories. Hey, Brother B, waves at me from chat. We got a lot of great programming here on UCY. Doing some shout outs now. Also, my buddy Neil in Nashville. I dropped that link earlier, 420chopshop.com. That's part of who we are is the little guy. So, shout out to the little guy. Non-compensated endorsement by the Propaganda Panda. Thanks, y'all.
So let me cover the caveats on what I went through real quick, because it only takes a little bit of mistake to just destroy the whole crop. Okay. Number 1, you do want to increase the nutrients gradually there. You can shock them. You don't want to rot the seeds. That's huge there. If you're going to grow the seeds, don't have the dome cover on it there. Don't have full of the water on the bottom of the tray. Don't use those the slots with the 2x2 slots inside the aquarium tray there, because you can't see the amount of water. Okay, but you do want to keep them wet. You gotta keep adding water, whenever it dries out. But that's pretty huge. Don't rot the seeds. Clones, keep the vents closed for at least 7 days. Make it anaerobic so that they root. Once you get one root, then you open up the vents. Then after a few more days, you can take the tent off the dome, and then you can transfer it to the bigger 5x5 rock wool and grow it inside the vegetated room. Once it gets big enough, or once your flowering crop is done, has been harvested, you clean out the reservoir, clean out the tank, and start fresh all over again there. Pretty cool. It's an easy cycle, takes care of itself. You don't want temperature much over 80 degrees. You don't want humidity over 50 degrees. Okay, so you do want a thermometer, a hygrometer, to be able to measure these things. I don't bother with the pH because I have an RO water. If you use tap water, then you should. It should be about 5.8, I think. It should be. If you get pH out of whack, it can mess it up. But the way my system is, I don't have to mess with all of that. It's just takes care of itself. Just got 5 gallons a day of the water though. Got to mix it with the various concentrations. Got to make sure that as the buds get bigger, you got to suspend them so they don't break off. Otherwise, it's a system that takes care of itself. It's wonderful.
It's coming real soon where, and this is the problem, marijuana becomes legal. And that a lot of us listening here will understand what I'm talking about, the difference between legal and not being illegal to start with. And there's going to be a lot of regulations come down. With the Federal Reserve notes spinning wildly out of control, they always look for more ways to get revenue. So this is a humongous cash crop for government, marijuana. And I guess the Super Bowl's coming up sometime here soon. They're going to, I don't know if they'll even be able to see the field between Washington and Colorado. That ought to be full of smoke. We're going to see more and more states that are going to legalize marijuana. Now, in Arkansas last year, it missed by 4 points of passing, 52 to 48 for medical marijuana. And now the problem was they're gonna come back on the next time, and they're gonna add in there that you have to go to a dispensary to get it. So you're not gonna be able to grow your own out in the yard, which is ridiculous to say you can't grow a plant. Okay, there's lots of proof and evidences of the cannabis plant medicinally, even removes cancer. Hey, Lynette is online. Let me go grab her. Take over, Vince. I'm gonna go, or Victor. I'm gonna go get somebody here. Victor, you're not there.
Yeah, here I am.
Okay, go ahead then. Let me do a little production.
Okay. Well, I've covered everything there, but it is kind of a wonderful thing. Of course, privacy is a big, big thing. I mean, especially when you first started getting into it, it's exciting. It's awesome. You see it growing and stuff I've never seen before. You know, I never saw these big old massive buds, and of course you're proud. You'd like to talk about it. And wrong answer. Silence. Just like being a prepper. Silence is golden. Same thing. You know, silence. You don't talk about it. Okay? Period. You don't let people know about it. And plus, it's only good for a short window of time anyway. I mean, you ain't supposed to have fan leaves or anything like that stuff. But keep very quiet. Whenever you vent it out, have it go through the filter. Have it keep the smell on the down low and all of that there. Different plants have different odors. You know, I just have a seed now. It's called Punky Lion. It's supposed to smell and taste like chocolate. So that's a seed that's coming up. It only came up for 4 days, which is incredible there. So that is not as pungent as some of the other chronic that I've grown there, but it's definitely puts a smell around there. You know, I think Leonard Skinner, that's not what he's talking about, but it's true. Ooh, that smell.
Hey, is this Lynette? Hey, excuse me.
Hi, Vince.
It is. How are you?
I am fine. Y'all are on my subject.
All right. Yes.
How can they legalize this weed? I have to grow it. I have to juice it. I do not agree with what they are doing.
Exactly. This is the organic guru, Lynette Pate. She has written some books. She's a big activist and is going to be in Memphis, tomorrow night. Would you share your information with us, Lynette?
I'd like to hear how you juice it, Lynette. I'm quite interested in that. And tinctures, too, if you know.
Yes, I got to have it all. I got to be able to grow.
Fuel for the body, right?
Yes. The only way my cancer will stay away. I have to have it in my body. Always.
Yes. It's amazing what the cannabinoids, if I can say it, can do for your brain, even at connecting neural pathways. I guess I might need to smoke some more by coming together.
I just watched a YouTube video recently. A little girl, after 6 months, had severe seizures, which would be terminal after a while. But the CBCs in the cannabis actually helps the brain wire itself and work normally. And as it took forever jumping through hoops in Arizona to get it, but just by chance, there's a strain with very low THC. Nobody wanted it. Very high the CBCs, and the girl's living a normal life. So there's many, many amazing uses that is available.
Well, the government's fixing to take it from us. Huh? That's why they're making it legal. They are fixing to patent this oil, and it's going to be out of our hands where we cannot grow it, man.
And then they want to take over and synthesize it. They've been doing that for a long time, but they actually want to capture the plant itself because they know that synthesized and extracted, the way they'll be extracting this stuff will be impotent. Won't do us a bit of good.
Yeah, it's going to be ruined. We're all on our own.
Hey, tell us about your event tomorrow night in Nashville.
Event?
Yeah, Lynette, can you hear me?
It's Becky.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was talking
up, man? I'm popping in on you.
You got me.
I can't chat with y'all.
Well, you got me. I thought I was talking to somebody else. Anyways, I dropped her link in there, Lynette at Fate, the organic group. And hey, yeah, Becky knows about curing cancer. So you're down in South Carolina.
I'm in North Carolina.
North
Carolina had rare cancer. It was they said it could not be cured. They medically said they could not fix me because I was comorbid, 2 or more conditions. They will not pay you to get well. I was on my own.
The oil that you used then is your literal Tar Heel then, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. They grow good down here. Well, sometimes I make a trip out to legal land. I do what I have to do, Vince. I'm 24/7. If this oil comes out of my system, within 3 months, the cancer's back. I'm the first person in North Carolina under the Medicaid system to be able to walk in any doctor's office or any hospital, and have THC in my system, and they'd be okay with it. That's as far as I've gotten. It took me 3 years to get there.
Wow.
One thing, Becky, I highly recommend for any cancer patients, even preventative, is it's a spice derivative called curcumin. It's from.
I do. I do all kinds of other things.
Excellent.
I live on foods.
And to get the curcumin, you got to mix it with olive oil for your body to absorb a higher percentage of it. The curcumin is proven to fight cancer on every level.
Cool. Throw me a link on my wall sometime. I don't have no computer right now, but I'm not going to keep you long. I just wanted to pop in and say howdy. And I miss you guys.
Won't you stay on it for another minute? Jose's fixing to come in.
I'll hang in with you guys. I'd like to holler at Jose. He's my buddy.
Right on.
And I checked my page, somewhere in there, you go on the albums, there's a curcumin newsletter that tells all about it too. So virtuously, go on my page and you can find it there. You can download it. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, post it on my wall, Victor. Just send it over.
All right then. All right, I'm signing out then.
Well, are you done? Okay. Well, Jose will be on here in just a little bit. Me and Becky's going to talk a little bit.
All right then.
Hey, thanks, Vic. You did a fantastic job. And like I said, this is information purposes for those that are not in violation of government rules and
so regulations.
Take it with and do with it as you will.
So what's the response from the audience? Did you guys kind of get what I was saying? Was that clear? Kind of laid out the big picture for you? Was it helpful? Or
say that again?
So what's feedback from the audience? Was it pretty clear?
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good, man. You broke it down really good because I've always been outdoor and I'm just kind of learning the indoor thing and yeah, you did good,
cool.
Man.
All right, cool. Right on. You have what we do now.
Thank you, Victor.
In your honor, Becky. You're welcome. Bye.
I think something's wrong with the phone lines. You called them by phone. You called them by phone now. Yeah. I tried to call in. I couldn't get in. And Dal down in Nicaragua says he kept getting a fax tone. So I ain't sure what's up with that. But you did get through. I thought you was somebody else. I've seen that come online. Anyways, check out her site, Full for the Body. She's got some other stuff.
I've seen her in the thing. I'll go check her out later on.
Yeah, stick around and you'll talk just a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah. First of all, you don't talk right with the North Carolina accent right. Now, I know that it's kind of the same. Here comes the caller as it is in parts of Arkansas. And
see, I spent half my life in California, Vince. I'm kind of bi-coastal.
You gotta talk like this when you from the hills of North Carolina or up in some part of Arkansas.
Well, we swamp talk too, swamp talk. I'm a little bit of it all, I think.
Well,
Been all over the place. But my big, I'm watching this thing with this legalization, Vince, and it's kind of, I told everybody when they elected Brock, I said, he's going to legalize your weed. That's what y'all want.
it's always
it's in motion. What are y'all fighting for? Because this stuff's going to happen.
Right. Hey, we got a couple of callers. Stand by with me, Becky.
I'll hang in there with you, man.
Yeah, hang with me. From the 538 area code. 417 just jumped. Okay, go ahead, 530.
Hey, Vince, it's Coy.
Right on, huh? Wow, Coy, this is my friend from, man, we known each other when I was back in my 20s, out in Southern California. Man, good friend, man. And I'm going to be seeing him on my trip this year as I circle about the West here. Hey, Coy, man, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I was actually on Facebook and I saw your things there and you were on the air, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Man, right on, dude. Yeah, I'm fixing to head down here in about a week and a half. I'm going to go down to Quartzsite. If it don't get too hot down there during this terrible winter, I'm going to stick down there for about 3 or 4 weeks and jump over to San Diego and L.A. I'm just going to use that as my hub down there. I'm going to go see Ian Jacklin. He's on the network at I Cure Cancer. He's a proponent of medical marijuana. And also Nick Burnaby for March Against Monsanto and the anti-media. I'd like to do a live show with them fellas. And then I'm going to be headed up, I ain't sure which direction I'm going, to the left or the right, but I'm going to go through Salt Lake and Tonopah, see Mike and Maddie. And the underground over there where you're at, and I've got some friends over there, Dodie, who's on the network too, and Dane Wigington for geoengineering. So I'm really having what Mike named it was the Westerly Wandering Tour. So having a great time. Look forward to seeing you. That's been about almost 20 years since I've seen you. 15, 20 years, ain't it?
It's been at least 18, I think. Yeah.
Man, yeah, great friend, man. We've had some adventures, you and I.
We've done everything together. Hunting
and fishing, survival training.
Yeah, survival training.
We shot each other with shotguns and BB guns. That's how we trained.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Eddie Cox? I wonder. I hear he went on heroin and went to Hollywood and died.
So what subject are you guys on? What are you talking about?
Hydroponic marijuana, growing it hydroponically. This is kind of, the indoor system is great, but like I said, I think if a person could adapt to the aquaponic system, and you could also be having some fish there doing your work for you. But, it would be a lot more work, actually, I guess, using that. But you'd get to eat them anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to do something else. The ordinance in my area changed just recently.
They're really screwing with California. So let me ask you this and clarify on a point. When you're cloning, I don't know if you've done any cloning, but you want to take your trimmings from up on top and don't you want to use your lower limbs. I mean, that's not got the information sent to it. It's DNA and all that method of travel for that. So tell me something about cloning, how you would go about it.
Well, I've grown both clone and seed, and I find that seeded plants, they do a lot better. They're stronger. The limbs are sturdier. Clone plants, they're more susceptible to disease, funguses, and molds. And I have come across that even just this last year. And I mix them up. I grow both seeds and clones, but I always seem to have the problems with the clones. I'm always fighting something with them. It seems to be sort of a hassle.
Yeah, I think...
I don't know how it is.
I got away from clones myself. I ended up...
Yeah, I don't know how it is indoors because, I mostly grow outdoors. However, I have grown indoors before. I just don't think it's cost effective.
Well, you're a big guy. You're what, 6 foot, how much?
I'm 6'4". I weigh 245 pounds.
Wow.
Man, back when we was running together, I was in good shape too, man. But, I see him stand there flat-footed and kick the top of the door jam. So just giving you an idea how big a koi is. What did you tell me about one plant you grew? What was that? 16, 18 foot? 16, 18 foot, big around as your leg at the stalk?
Yeah. Hey, Vince, I have to go.
All right. Thanks, Coy. Hey, I look forward to seeing you, brother. I'm glad you called in.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Later. Hey, now you come on and call in too. Let me go get, I've left Jose out in the cold. Hey, Becky, back with you.
I'm here. I'm enjoying y'all. I've been dropped in the middle of the Twilight Zone where I am, okay? You have no idea. It's like back in the 80s.
Yeah, that's...
The drug wars are crazy here. And the education, it's like maybe 7th or 8th grade. Pretty much statewide in this part of the South. I'm doing a lot of observing.
Yeah.
Socially.
It's not that they're doing it to, legalizing marijuana for the benefit of the people. They're
well, they don't even know here it's decriminalized.
Tightly controlled.
It's totally, they have doggone shot 3 mental health patients in the last 3 weeks within 2 hours from me. One 5-year-old, one 18-year-old schizophrenic boy, 3 minutes after 911 came into their house. Bam.
Wow.
Said we didn't have time for you.
Wow.
It's really the police state right here where I'm at is so real. I'm even having a hard time watching the news and living in it. I'm actually going to exit out of USA. I'm working on that in about a year.
As bad as things are here, I still think we're living in the best place on earth for now. So, but there is some argument against that for maybe down in South America. That make very good points. Chile and Uruguay and stuff like that down there. See, which one of the fellows, Drew David or Chuck from Double Crossed? I think they spoke about that down there. And by the way, I'm going to have to find, I don't know where to go get the link right now, but Drew in the state of Jefferson, or the Republic of Jefferson Republic, that's something that people up there are working on. Doty here also. But anyways, yeah, he has a hydroponics farm, so that's some really good information there. You can find that Double Cross the Radio on Facebook, and I don't know if they got a .com or not. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, for some more information, go over there, and if you have a question, just pop it in there, and for them, here we go. 417 area code. We're adding you up. Welcome to UCY, caller. Who we got? Is this Dow? Hello, caller. 417 area code.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, is this Vincent?
This is. How are you? Is this Lynette?
Hey, yes, it is. I'm good.
Awesome. We got you. How are you this evening?
Oh, just a little bit crazy as usual, colorful as usual. I'm never crazy. I'm just colorful, just getting all kinds of things ready and going on for our event tomorrow, and things rocking and rolling for the event in April.
So how's the temperature now in Memphis?
How it's what? I'm sorry?
Oh, the temperature. Is it cold there?
Yes, it is cold. No snow, no ice, just really cold.
I've fled the winter. I'm out west here. I left Arkansas. I'm out in Vegas and headed for a little more warm weather here in a couple more weeks down to southern Arizona. So,
oh, wow.
Lynette is a proponent of the hemp plant. She does a lot. She's out there. That's what she's doing is, teaching and, out there as an activist. You've ridden a bike. How many miles you got clocked riding cross country on a bike?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. We have at least 6,500 miles.
Wow.
Yep, on the bike.
Wow.
Because, we're doing it 30 to 45 days at a time, and then we take breaks, and I take a few months off and then do another one. We took a lot longer off this time because of the tragedy in my family. But, yeah, about at least 6,500 miles that have gone since April 2011. Now, to the avid cyclist, and that's always racing and riding every single day of their life, it may not seem like a lot of miles, but it is whenever you're only doing it like 30 days at a time or 45 days at a time. Twice a year or, yeah.
You are really needing fuel for the body then. Coincidentally, the name of your website. And do you have another site that we can find for your format?
Yep, you can look on fuelforthebody.org, and that gives all the information that they need to know about the tours and how they can help out, how they can let their voices be heard and even join in on our next tour. They can call our number that's listed on the bicycle tour page and see all kinds of ways that they can participate in our upcoming tour from April 15th to May 31st, from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And like I said, they can participate in their own hometown. So look that up. And then if anybody wants to get involved with our pre-launch before our tour for our big, huge gala and organic festival, I encourage everyone to come to that. That's what we're working on tomorrow night with Christopher Wark, who has his blog, Chris Beat Cancer, and he's a great testimony in and of itself. And so we're having an event here in Memphis tomorrow night to get ready for the big, huge natural health event of the year, the Hunger for Health Gala, April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and they can go on livehappybepure.com. That is our slogan motto, livehappybepure.com, and gives you all the details to come to our fine dining organic dinner gala and the 2-day organic festival. Vendors, speakers, and patrons all over the nation are welcome. So come along.
Man, you know what? You've given me 2 good chances of meeting you when you was in, let's see, you was up in Branson and you was over in the Delta over there. Where was it, Jonesboro, Arkansas?
Yes, I was. When we rode through here, we did different events. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I will one day, we will run into each other. But, I've been your supporter on Facebook. What you do is,
oh yeah, you're a big moral supporter. We definitely appreciate that. You're always on there.
I just really love what you're doing, and it's important that each of us do something. We don't all have to be like you, but we need to do something to help make this a better world and to change what's wrong with it, and that's what we're all about here at UCY.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep on going, keep on pedaling, trucking along, because we can't do it all alone. We need togetherness, and that's what we always say. Together, we will make a difference. So keep getting out there, keep trying to make a difference, because we do count. Our votes may not count like we think they should, or like they should at all. They don't even count, but our bodies and our actions can say a whole lot more and do a whole lot more good.
Yeah. And diet's one of the most important things that you can do. Contrary to what I had thought, I thought you was a vegetarian, but you're not. You do have.
I've been a vegetarian for years, but I had to turn into part-time carnivore due to my kidneys, and I explained that in my seminars and different stuff. But you can't reverse a surgery that you've already had, and I was a vegetarian for years, and I had to be part-time carnivore because of my kidney complications, and this is all new to me, and my holistic kidney doctor let me know exactly why and why it doesn't work for me being a vegetarian. But remember, I only promote and only participate in eating certain animals, definitely no pork. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat turkey. I only eat grass-fed, grass-finished, humanely raised, and humanely harvested red meat, whether it's lamb, elk, bison, or venison. Because those are the best, free range, and they don't even know that they are down before they're shot.
This is
Becky. About red meat?
This is Becky.
About red meat? Yeah, is it our bodies? I was told that our bodies that our bodies don't produce one certain type of protein that the red meat has in it that we need.
Right, that's the L-carnitine, and a lot of people can get away with being vegetarian. 3% of the people can get away with being vegan only, so that's a very low statistic. But a lot more people can get away with being vegetarian. But in kidney patients and diabetic patients and certain people and with certain blood types, I do not go by eat right for your blood type, don't get me wrong, but it's the L-carnitine that we don't have. And people mistakenly think that they can get that L-carnitine from gel caps. And some people it's okay with because their bodies aren't rejecting it yet. But because of my kidney complications, my kidney cannot filter certain things and it cannot produce certain pheromones. So it's the L-carnitine that I need from that animal protein. And if the animal is not even fed the right kind of diet, this natural diet, it does not produce its own L-carnitine, so it does you no good at all. So there's a big, huge
the only thing I
about
do with
red
me
meat.
is a little bit of grass-fed red meat too.
Good.
Just for that reason.
Good. Good for you. Yep,
Thank
that's
you
how it
for-
should be
for
because
that-
that's
for answering
devastating.
that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, sorry about that. I was over here gathering links. I
Okay.
got all your links, Lynette. I've dropped the two. The Facebook. I think I'm out.
I got it. I already posted it up online.
Okay. I got the Facebook, the
Okay,
Gaelic
awesome.
Dinner, and also Fuel for the Body, and I think I put one other one somewhere. But anyways, I'll finish filling those in.
Right. Well, it was just that little small event that we're doing tomorrow to get our Memphians involved with our gala. But yes, the gala and the festival is a, if you will, pre-launch episode that we're having for our next tour that takes off in April. So, yeah, it's all combined as the whole mission efforts. It's not really that I'm doing two different things. It's a whole mission grassroots effort. Feel it for your body, and together we can make a difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lynette, I'm so proud that you called in. It's very nice to speak with you. Like I said, I'm a huge fan and love what you're doing and really appreciate your hard work.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you all for your support over there. You've always been a great moral supporter and tripper, so we appreciate you, Vince, and have a super fantastic evening, and I'll check in with you all again, but check in with us periodically, see where we are, find us online, and see what state I am coming to next. Right now it's Memphis, and in about a month I might be out in Vegas. I'll let you know. I have a couple of opportunities out there, so I'll keep you posted. Until then, everybody, live happy and be pure.
Cool. Thanks, Lynette.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, Beck. I haven't tried here in a few minutes, but I was trying to get Jose in. This show is really got a show. We've run all over the top of Jose. And
Where is Jose?
Well, he was here, and let me try to add him again. But anyways, Jose's great. I really like him. Hey, do we have? Let's see. Oh, there she goes. Okay. No, Jose.
Him and I, we agree on a whole lot of things with this relationship thing. I studied relationships a long time because I kept messing up. Okay, I had to rewire my brain, Vince.
You know what? I just throw my glasses off and lean back in the chair. Let's just talk. I consider I'm not going to bother here and be distracted on all these punching buttons up there. But anyway, so now you're not just going to have a chat. I consider myself pretty much an expert on relationships because I've avoided them so well, which I think makes me non-biased in observation of other people. And I have seen a lot of crap, friends, especially, the worst thing that really causes more problem than anything is alcohol. If you mix alcohol,
it is. I'm seeing. Today, we went to, there's a brother and sister, he just got, he's got Hep C and he's got hospice in, and what's he doing? He's drinking. And I'm like, okay. I see it so bad. I'm in the middle of it, so it's hard for me. I'm codependent. I have to work on that shit every stuff.
Yeah, Jose told you there's no such thing as being codependent. And I would agree. I think, from the field of psychology that condition people's minds to accept these little innuendos and what would you call them? Just so you could follow along the system. Of course, you can get some Xanax or whatever them other pills. I don't understand why people take them. I really don't. But you get any number of pills.
Me either.
Yeah, you get all kinds of pills to placate you. But this codependency. If the symptoms of codependency I've seen quite often throughout life. And I'll tell you what it is. It's just that, you establish a pattern in life and especially if you grew up in a dysfunctional family, that's what you're going to expect out of shit. So that's the way you tend to, the type that you tend to seek out. I love my mom. She's dead now, but anyways, she sought the same type of individual every time, and she was married 7 times.
I did it twice, and I think right now I'm just going to take care of me for a while.
I've been divorced.
I enjoy my life. It's a whole lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I may be selfish, but it's a lot simpler.
It really is. And simplicity, to me, is a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. This is my tour. I'm fixing to hit the desert down here and going with well, it'll be a high tech getting out back to nature. But anyways, I'm going to be on the ground and I'll have minimal amounts of things with me, and it makes I think it's kind of a purification for life in a way, and makes you more appreciative of what you have too when we'll get back into comforts and stuff. So. I love it.
You know, I left my house. You know, I abandoned ship. You know, I got 27 acres in a farm, and I packed my little car with what meant a little bit to me, and I did not look back, Vince. And I had a lot of people very worried about me, and I did not understand that people did that today. I thought that, and I kind of had to work with the ones that kind of watch me, because there is kind of a big kind of a crowd that does, and I kept saying, if y'all are worried about me, you're not taking care of your health. Because I got enough faith in whatever the universe or, you know, I feel we're around my energy. You know, we're connected with the trees and the stars and everything. We all float together. And I float with it, you know, and I know I'm going to be okay. You know, I'm going to eat. I don't want nobody worrying about me if I want to eat. I'm 50 years old. I took a bus from California or North Carolina to California Greyhound when I was 12. A couple months after my mom suicided. I can take care of me today. But it really, when I've got people steady trying to contact me, you know, worrying about me, or you know, or be careful. What do I have to be careful about, Vince? You know, I try not to break the rules. You know, yeah, I've got to be on this cannabis oil. But if something goes down with that, my proof's in my medical records.
Right.
You know, I'll fight that tooth and nail for my personal right. You know, why I don't feed into legalization, because I feel I die without it. So, you know, I begged them when they busted in my house on a 911 call.
Wow.
And took my stuff for forfeiture laws. Please charge me. Take me to court.
I'm like you. I'll stand on principle. I'll be 50 this year. You know, looking back, you know, the rest of my life is you know, fairly short compared to, you know, how time flies. I've said this before.
Yes. Yes.
I don't give a crap. I would not submit to their authority. They're going to have to force it on me. I wouldn't cop a plea. And I hope I'm not throwing down a gauntlet for you, NSA, but, you know. Oh,
now,
I was ready to
put me in my life, and my medical records, I cleared 18 chronic conditions. The stage 4 cancer that was supposed to take me out. They call me a CAN patient. They only gave me 15 months to live in 2010. They had me on 17 different kinds of medication, Vince. They were killing me.
Well, there's really not as much money to be made if they are to cure people of cancer, is there?
No. And what gets me with this new legalization, Vince, you know, of course, the reason, when I saw Sanjay come on CNN that night, my heart broke. And I sat there and I watched them. I said, y'all are getting what you want. I said, why do you think Sanjay, the government, is telling you again on the TV what we already know about this cure and why we're not able to get in the media on the TV? They've already got it in action. They're going to steal that and make the laws to where we cannot grow or make our own medicine, and they're going to sell it back to them.
That's right.
And I can't participate in that, Vince. I pulled out. I can't participate in, you know, I can't sleep at night if I'm going along with something that, you know, it makes no sense. It's no different. This Super Bowl that they're doing right now and the media hype and Obama come out the next day saying, you know, marijuana is, you know, safer than alcohol. The day after, the 2 states that are wrecked got the Super Bowl. To me, something smells real fishy, and it's money. And I can't, it's really, for this person, I can't feed into it. I'm preparing to go visit Mexico in a couple months, and I'll probably maybe end up somewhere in the Himalayas somewhere in about a year.
I think if I was to have my druthers, it'd be South America, if I was to go somewhere else. That's just my opinion. But like I said, I'd rather be right here in America. And I think it's...
Well, I'll be back. I got a home base here, man. I got it hooked up right here. good friend right here, man. I got it made. I'm telling you, Vince, I'm having fun.
Hey, are you on the beach there in North Carolina?
I am on the beach. I'm down here close to Holden's Beach.
Where at?
Right here, Holden's Beach.
I don't even know where that is. Is that in the northern or southern part?
About, an hour south, maybe from Wilmington.
Okay. You know, I've driven through D.C. or the outskirts of it, but I always want to go D.C. I hope I make it over to the East Coast. And by the time I get done circling here and get up, I'd like to go from northern Cal to Oregon and up to Seattle and go across the northern part of the country. And
see, I'm heading out there in June. I'm going to land in near Sacramento, Antelope, and take a little road trip because I want to hit up 36. I want to hit Agate Beach if I could figure out how to get there. If the snow will let me, I'd like to go 36. But then I'm heading on up to Seattle to a friend of mine in Shelton, Washington, for a little bit.
Cool.
I'd like to pick up and go too. How bad will travel?
Man, you know, that's what I'm doing. And it's great too. I love, I generally make a trip every year. Mine was delayed. I had a mini trip. I went to a 30-year reunion last July in Tulsa.
Wonderful.
That was so great. Yeah. You know, I consider myself to be fulfilled in life. I have very little, and I think that's even better because I don't have any worries or responsibilities. I don't have to worry about somebody, you know, my house burning down or whatever, you know, and it makes life a lot simpler. So, you know,
I'm selling out, Vince. I'm selling out everything that I'm hooked up. You know, with SSI, when you inherit, you can't sell. So I'm pulling out, you know, I'm giving up widow's benefits. I'm giving it all up. I'm done. I do not want them to know anything about me.
Right. Well,
and
I'm not ready to pull all the way out of the system. I think we need to back out of it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, with my life the way it is with this cancer, Vince, you know, I live more in the moments now than I ever have, and it's been beautiful. It's been, you know, I can't explain it. I really, there's no explaining it. I'm going to have to write about it. I will. Go write a book.
It's important, I think, to be able to share our experiences with another. This year, you're a first-time caller, aren't you, Becky?
Do I, Vince?
You're your first-time caller. Did you get through just for a second? You did one time before, got through for just a second, didn't you? Called in before? You haven't called in.
No, for just one. No, we never did connect that night. It wouldn't go through.
That's right, yeah. First-time caller, Dalla in Nicaragua was asking, and Maddie said that you'd call in. Yeah, you are, Becky. We're Facebook friends, and shared a lot of information back and forth. And I think it's good how Facebook is for communicating around the world. You know, a lot of people don't like it because it's a spy thing, but I don't care. Look at me all you want to. I know that's not the right attitude for liberty, but I purposely, when I put myself out to be a public figure, I figured, you know, there ain't nothing to, you know.
Yeah, people kind of freak on me, you know, because I speak about my dad. You know, I speak a lot of drug. Like, well, my dad was a smuggler, and he's dead now, and his operations were busted. So I do have a lot to share in that. You know, I got a lot of stories. You know, they made a movie out of it. It's called the movie Blow. I have had a lot of experiences in my life as far as drug wars. Been in it my whole life, and it's different to me. You know, I was. You know, and understand surveillance, you know, heavy surveillance by the feds, most of my upbringing with my dad. You know, I didn't choose that life as an adult. I did not do that. I'm not an activist. I only come out when I had to fight. You know, I had to start speaking when this oil not only cured my cancer, but it repaired everything in my body that interferon had done to me, that they had poured in me since 1999. It was a miracle when I started. I was bouncing around like a 25-year-old Vince doing layups on a basketball court. And I'm almost 50.
I think it's a shame how the industry, their whole purpose is to poison us, the whole medical industry.
Yeah, they would have took me out and took my land if I would have let them.
Right?
Yes. That would have been it. Bam, they won.
Yeah.
With, 19 conditions, I kind of speak labels sometimes, but, I don't own any of those 19 conditions that I see in my medical records. I don't have them.
I go in for blood work every 90 days just to check my hemoglobin A1C, see what my diabetes is doing. But other than that, they try to give me these prescriptions, and I won't take them. They said, "Why not?" I said, "I'm not going to take them."
I can mix up a juice, a different recipe in a juice, and I have it bouncing off the walls. I can pick up another one that could bring somebody's blood sugar right down. It's just amazing what our foods can do. I started off real simple. Because I was so sick coming off that chemo, I knew I had to detox my body, and I called it my 12-color diet. And I started off with just simple, raw food, raw veggie and fruit, 12 colors a day, and I eat it every 3 hours, along with, massive infused waters to detox when I could. And it was just amazing what it did to my body. It was crazy.
It's a full-time job to really correct your health. I'm not bragging about how I'm doing now, but
right now I'm not doing too good on it. I'm savoring in flavors right now, okay? I'm enjoying things.
I promise you I'm doing the same thing.
You gotta live every once in a while.
If we're living, we're dying too, so, gotta find some balance. A good 3 years ago, about 3, I think it was. Man, I was dynamite. I had my diet down. I had a good regimen. Started out in the morning with lemon water and taking some herbs and minerals and this and that.
Yeah, I got crazy. I got real rigid on it. I think I went too far with it.
Well, I don't know if you can go too far, but like I said, it is a full-time job to do that. I mean, you spend 18 hours a day.
Oh, I was totally, but it worked. It worked. It got me where I needed to be. I need to get back. It was hard because I've been kind of homeless. I kind of needed a kitchen so I could get things back going. And a good friend, I'm hooked up now. I got a good little spot. I'm going to be able to stay here and compost and get this place I can here. I could eat my own food that I grow right here. I'm going to transfer my garlic, my asparagus, everything from my farm. I'm only an hour and a half from here. And he's got the biggest, baddest Troy-built machine I've ever seen, Vince. He's got a nice Corvette, but I would really like that Troy-built a whole lot better. It's going to do magic.
Troy-built's made here in America, a pretty good machine.
Yeah.
In Troy, Michigan, matter of fact. I don't think Jose's going to make it. I tried to add him a few times, so you want to hang out with me the rest of the program, and anybody else would like to call in, you're welcome at 718-717-8296. Be glad to have you join in the conversation. Talking to Becky in North Carolina. She had cancer. You had what type of cancer? They pretty much.
It was called mucinous adenocarcinoma. The unknown primaries. What originally they found was a size of a mass on an ovary that was the size of an apple. Within 6 weeks, Vince, by the time they cut into me, and I was tested, it wasn't ovarian cancer. When they got into me, it was the size of like a basketball, weighed about 2 pounds. And I woke up and they're like, it's lean and we don't know what it is, and it's been sent to Duke, and it took 12 doctors 3 weeks to figure out what the heck it was.
Doctor's going to tell you that what they want you to hear, which is take more.
Well, I studied it. I said, you give me my pathology. I took enough anatomy. I'll figure it out for myself. And once I got a pathology in my hand, I went, oh my goodness, Vince, it was going to take me out. It was that mean. And there was only 2 hospitals, they said, that medically could fix it. And what they wanted to do to me, medically-wise, was called mother of all surgeries. Okay, it was, and hepatic chemo. They wanted to cut out half of my organs, half my stomach, half my intestines, half my colon, all lymph nodes on the right side of my body, resect everything. I would have been in the hospital for 2 months. After they did all that 23-hour surgery, I would have laid on this table for another 4 hours while they cut me from my sternum to my gut. and ran these pipes in me of this warm, weird chemo, and like zipped me back up while I laid there, and it ran through my whole body. They would have killed me, Vince, if they, you know, and my kids pushed me. They, you know, I did chemo one time for my kids because I sent the pathology to Dr. Levine, and there was 2 hospitals, Wake Forest and one in San Diego. So I said, here's what I got, and here's what they're telling me I need, you know, and he emailed me back really fast, and he said, we do that, but you are comorbid, and we can't treat you. He said, but you do need it, or you've got about 15 months. And I'm like, well, thank you, you know. So I did Duke's, like, well, we got this experimental thing, and the whole time I was screaming, my dad, I was making cannabis oil, I was making hash oil when I was 16. So at that point, when I heard Rick Simpson and his stuff, because I didn't social network before, I'd been upside a mountain. I wouldn't have known all this had this not happened to me. But from that point on, you know, like I promised my kids that chemo was offered through Duke. You know, my kids, them being kids and me being a mom, they didn't understand the science I knew. And one time, and it didn't do nothing to the tumor markers, and I had a couple spots on my lungs, pancreas, and we after I did the chemo, because the oil and chemo, you know, you're wasting your oil. But we put me in like a induced coma for about 3 months.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they just, you know, would wake me up to feed me, because you've got to have your body at rest with it. And it was amazing when we go back to Duke, you know, the doctor would be like, well, they're not there no more. And we'd be like, it's the cannabis oil, you know, nobody ever heard us, you know, it's clearly in my records, because I would have like 20 different flags in my blood work, Vince. And as my body started regulating, you know, everything, when they, you know, because they locked me in a psych ward for getting well. My daughter called 911 and had me committed. She did not understand me. I was one happy woman. And I finally read those papers. It took me a while, because, you know, you don't take me and strap me down and dope me up. You know, I'm just too much of a free spirit. But I'm okay with that. It's part of my story. But I finally looked at my medical records, and every single thing in my body was perfect, Vince, even down to my pH level. And I did not have one single bit of their drug in my system. You know, and or GMO. I was totally, I might have freaked them out because they come at me with the needles. And I'm like, oh, man, you know, my body's pure. She's almost like a kibble. And they knocked me out. I woke up with 6 Band-Aids on me.
Man.
Yeah, so I do not like hospitals. I will not walk in them.
I do not like them neither, Sam.
Yeah, if I go down, I will go down not in a hospital.
I hear that. So, are you camping on the beach, or you got a house over there?
No, actually, I met a friend. You know, I talk about strip boats down here. I don't know if you catch that on my Facebook.
No, about shrimp. There's bait shrimp.
Yeah, I actually got a big old nice. The shrimp boat that I'm connected to, it's got a prying system on it. It's one that most it can catch. They don't make shrimp boats like this. I watched it being built.
I would like to offer this advice: to if you eat shrimp, do not eat no more shrimp. I'm sorry, Bubba. But look, no, seriously.
Well, that's what I call my friend. His name is Bubba. He is sweet. He's got a brain injury. We're helping him out with that.
Yeah. Man,
heals that.
Our world is so polluted. I mean, we've got the Gulf spill that I think is so underreported in the Gulf of Mexico with the BP spill, Fukushima, and the.
Oh, we're screwed.
Yeah, most people don't.
Yeah, we are so screwed. We're done.
Right.
It's in motion, Vince.
Huh.
It's in motion. That's why today I live like I do. That's why today I say, yeah, I'm going to go play in Mexico and in the Himalayas and sell out everything I own.
Right.
Because I'm going to live today. Because we're all going down.
Hey, I gave Jose one, so you know what? I'm gonna take one myself, and I'm gonna go get. Forewarned, strong expletive is about to be uttered. So I'm going to break my rules and go ahead and use this because this is, I mean, there's no better way to sum it up. Sometimes you just got to say fuck it, you know? That's sometimes the best philosophy for life.
Is to say, F it?
Yeah.
I'm with you. That's what I have done. And I tripped a lot of people out, and I'm like, you can do this too. I've kind of done this my whole life. When it was time to go, I know when to go. I can abandon ship. You know, sometimes you have to surrender to win.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
I don't know if I'd call it a surrender. I'd say more like go down fighting.
Well, I don't know, because I do kind of, you know, it's not like I raised the white flag, but it's like I stepped out of the way and I quit fighting the forces and went with the forces. How about that?
Well, yeah, you got to define forces now. We're gonna touch on something that Walter on Solving Our Events on Saturdays here on UCY talks about, and that's a trivia method, and that's a matter of grammar, logic, and reason. And so some people might not understand what you're saying, and others will perfectly. Is that that energy, that the forces is, and this goes against the trivia because you can't really logically, you know, wade through it and explain it and all that, but. I believe myself that there is a force that operates.
Maybe you're kind of like floating in. If we I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but you know, I can get into some dimensions, and I think right now I may be in the third one. I'm enjoying the mess out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's an energy, there's a flow that, like, you might have that gut feeling or something like this, is intuition or. All types of phenomena are words to describe it, but I've learned to go with the flow.
That's it. I call it kind of being sound, to listen for those signs. And when it says go, I go. And if it stops, then how I look at it is then it wasn't supposed to be. You know, I go in a different direction. But if it's supposed to be, it just flows wonderful. It's just amazing. Freedom that I saw my dad. He wrote his thesis, his psychology thesis, on personal utopia, and I kind of saw him reach that where he's going to do his own thing, and it don't really matter what any people pleasing or anything else, as long as he didn't hurt nobody, you know, and he still shared his gift with whoever needed it. Then I don't know. It's just I don't quite understand the spot I'm in yet, Vince. But I know that it feels really good. How about that?
I love where I'm at in life, and I've said it before. Man, I used to live, I guess I don't know how to explain it, outside the law, the other side without, or been a rebel my whole life, and I still am. But
me too.
Yeah, like I said, just go with the flow.
I think I was raised this way, and I didn't really realize that the rest of society, I even though I've always studied, I dissect things, I was raised just to dissect, our political parties, and, y'all hear me talk about, I don't belong to no party, this last election kind of freaked me out because I did not want a Mormon in charge, there was no way we would have went backwards. And I knew he would free the weed. So, that's what they wanted,
Yes, we can.
I love that.
I think they're two-headed snake.
Not free it, but legalize it with the way they wanted it. They got what they wanted. Yeah. Because they should have repealed it. I kept saying, now is the time to jump in there. We have rights. We as people can get this back, but only if y'all jump on board that and quit the legalization thing and demand your rights. Together, it would be a done deal. But nobody wanted to listen to me. I'm the crazy woman.
Well,
me and a few others.
Most people in society are really do consider people that talk of things outside the mainstream. That's crazy. And,
I like it. I like my crazy self. I will keep speaking it. I will not stop.
I've always been crazy, and I think that's what's kept me from going insane.
That's right. I've always been crazy. Woo. Watch out.
Keep kicking, huh?
I hope Jose's all right. He's had a rough week, man. He's that doggone. So, he's a good man.
Here's a good issue that some people might be confused on. Is GMOs. Julieta said in the event page that she said, I would believe that cloning these would be like using GMO, but that is just me. I'm not sure, she said. Actually, no, cloning's been around for a long time. Cloning is merely the cutting of a plant, a portion of it, and as simple as sticking it in the ground. You can take a willow tree, cut a limb off of it, and stick it in the ground, and it's going to grow another willow tree. It's going to be a continuation of growth. I didn't get into, I was going to talk some about plant pathology and the hows of how plants grow, but I think that might be safe for later. Not enough time to cover all that, and then I'd have to go and gather all my thoughts and information back together. So you and I.
Yeah, if you're shopping, if you go anywhere and you pick a piece of house plant and take it home, you're cloning.
You bought a clone at least.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty simple.
So the idea behind genetically modified GMO is a genetically modified organism, and it's what they do. They'll take a virus or a bacteria or something like that to use because it carries these genes, this information over for gene splicing. This is what they use to hold it and bind this together into the new which will result in the new organism. So genetically modified organism. They will take, there was one where they took a gene from a flounder and put it in a tomato where they could withstand colder temperatures in growing. Also there's the BT corn, it's Bacillus thuringiensis, if I pronounce that right. It's a bacteria. I think it originally it was carried by some bugs, and anyways, I think it's a bug disease where they first come up with that. I'm not sure on that, but anyways, it's put into the corn so that bugs will not eat it. I think there's some, I don't remember all the varieties that is BT. Then they have Roundup Ready crops, and you can spray the Roundup in the fields, and it'll kill the weeds and stuff around it, and not harm from cotton. Let's see, the cotton, there's beets, there's soybeans, all kinds of stuff that are Roundup Ready.
The trees, you know where I'm at down here, Georgia Pacific, Koch brothers, they have bought out our estate through our governor, and they cornered where I lost my property in '99 with Hurricane Floyd. We cornered all Georgia Pacific, and I'd fight with them because they'd come in, they'd be spraying that mess in the middle of the night. And I'd have them give me a phone call so I could at least get my kids in, and you would spray during the day so I could see you. And I had a property line there that they couldn't. But, man, our stuff started coming up. I was glad that place I took over. I took my kids to Northern California and took them to school in '99. Taught them a different education system.
Now, you tune in Saturdays to Geoengineering Watch, haven't you? Here on UCY.
I have. I'm just now, I've been really way off because my head has been everywhere. But now that I'm getting more centered, I can more get into what I need. So kind of guide me in that direction. If you kind of know where my head's at now. If you something that comes up.
There's some great information there from Russ Tanner as well. Joins Dane Wigington. Russ Tanner's from Global Skywatch, talking about geoengineering. And there's some people that will tell you that the trails in the sky are perfectly normal. I find that pretty incredulous. There's the trees are really dying off out west. They're in deep drought right now. There's all types of toxins that's falling from the sky. These trails in the sky are not a result of the simple process of condensation. So geoengineering.
Yeah, Becky Quarles. I really enjoy, and she's not that far from me. So what she's showing, her sky pictures are my sky pictures, pretty much. Yeah,
Becky's got some fantastic pages. She's got a lot of followers. She's done some YouTube videos for me. Yeah, she is awesome, and she has Becky's Chemtrail Diary and Global and Skywatch. Some other pages.
Well, we got Sarah Harris. the nuclear plant. You know, they were supposed to close it down last year for cracks, and now there's something else going on with it. She's right there by it. I'm just a couple hours. And I'm telling you, people are dying here of cancer. 1 out of 3 left. It's crazy, Vince. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of cases of cancer that used to be pretty rare back in the old days.
Is where they were taking me to go get treatment. There was the cancer center in the middle, and I was going with my Uncle Paul, my uncle, and which him, my dad, and my aunt, which all ended up in 3 different parts of the country, all died of cancer.
Wow.
Not kinetic. But chemo took my uncle out with radiation. But we were going to the same place. I was getting chemo, and he was getting radiation. And we would laugh like hell on the way, smoking our damn cigarettes. I still got a vice. But there was a rest home on one side and a hospice house on the other. So, you know, it was a setup.
Right. Hey, I've got the next show coming up. I've got it all posted on pages on Facebook and to my wall. It's Double Cross Radio. It's coming with Drew, David, and Chuck. And so this is something else. That band, they had a great show last Thursday. If y'all missed it, go to the archives and get it. Really lined it out. But anyways, they're asking the question: what's better to have a republic? Is a republic better than a state? So that's going to be a very interesting topic for discussion.
Yeah.
I failed to thank Phyllis Sinclair at the beginning of the broadcast with me fumblings and bumblings. It turns out I haven't heard back from her that YouTube is flagging copyright for the song At Last. It's a beautiful song. I love it. It's a wonderful mantra for me. I hate to lose it, so I hope we can get it fixed. Sorry, Jules, it's not fixed now. If this auto rips, she's going to be tearing her hair out because it's going to be flagging again. So this, she's got it all set up where our broadcasts here at UCY are being auto ripped to YouTube. Of course, we've had
that link under mine.
Which one?
Thing, you'll see it.
Which link? Becky?
Yeah, where I'm telling her I was going to hang on where I can talk to him too. So you'll see it on my page.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left. Oh, there's Jose popping up on Skype online. I see it. Well, as it turned out, we've had a wonderful time without you, Jose.
Hi, Jose.
I think you may be here listening. I don't know. So I think we will be having a lot of listeners downstream. We have nowhere near the numbers here in chat that is in the event page, so I understand people's schedules and stuff don't match. So luckily you can listen to all the broadcasts from UCY, and archives are listed. There's a RS feed to the left of the chat. There is chat here, and a wonderful, wonderful bunch of people here. I truly, over this past year, well, I've not been on quite a year here, but almost. I've come to, having I don't know what the word is. I'm lost for words here. Just an affiliation, an affection for people we talk in here. It's a nice place to hang out, and come to think of some of these folks as pretty near and dear. And I'm very proud that y'all take part in UCY, because it's not just the broadcasters here. It is the listeners, the chatters, callers. Really appreciate y'all. We're over a year old here at UCY and growing. We have over 30 broadcasters. We've reached over 80 countries, and we're just going to get bigger and bigger. This is a platform to spread the truth and the message of freedom and liberty. And
my biggest thing, Vince, I can't keep what I can't share. I just can't shut up about it.
Yeah, I can't either. Never have. I've never been able to shut my mouth.
Me either.
Yeah, last time I was before a judge, she said, "You just don't know when to shut your mouth, baby." Hey, here comes a song you love here in about another minute.
It is a song, man. Crank it up. I'll see you later, man.
You bet. Radioactive and...
Hey. You sit back, dumbass.
She is tough. She's tough.
Democrats, Republicans, your information's jumbling. rumbling, the USA is crumbling. Y'all sit back, dumb as shit. The mass invasion, the home invasions, the CPS is coming to snatch your babies. These confiscations, the conversations, they're operating within the zones we're trading. We're in the matrix, now we're totally raided. They infiltrated, finally the devil gave in. If you can't hear me, then pump up the volume. McDonald, Bin Laden, Osama, Obama, bring up something real. Legalize marijuana. Everything on a bong hit is as blonde as Madonna. Radioactive, intergalactic, counterattacking the main attraction.